Welcome to a slide presentation on the annual audit. Every school district has one of these, and they should be viewed as a positive force to enable a school district to use the taxpayer money quite wisely. Sometimes you might try to compare an audit to when cows fly. An audit must be conducted by an unbiased firm. This is extremely important because board members are often in businesses. It's important that they not have any connection to an audit firm. Only licensed certified public accountants are eligible to perform the audit, and the purpose is to provide the governing board with some key financial information. This is a required audit, and it's under section 41020 of the Education Code, saying that every school district simply has to have an annual audit by an unbiased source. A successful audit really does add credibility to the statements that the school district produces. And you must contract with a firm by April 1st, but these dates aren't that important for our discussion right now. What is important is the purpose of the audit. Keep in mind that they are filed to the County Superintendent of Schools by December 15th. However, there may be extenuating circumstances where you must get an extension. The fees for an audit are paid by the school district, and it depends a lot on the kinds of funds that the district conducts and the size of the district. Guidelines. Keep in mind that this is controlled really by the state. The state controller has the fiscal oversight of these guidelines for all audits of school districts. Reviews, the state controller actually reviews the CPA's audit work papers, and this is a check to see that the audit meets the state guidelines. The auditor's opinion is extremely important to a school district. There are three kinds of opinions. There's the positive, which is really unqualified. The district has competent employees, experienced, it has in place internal orientation and training programs for its employees, and it has a business services handbook of policies, and it's following those. Qualified opinion. Some problems with the financial records. Audit exceptions are found, like in student body funds, and that's most often where they do find exceptions because the policy just hasn't been followed appropriately. It isn't that crimes have been committed, it's just that good auditing procedures haven't been followed. A common error found in auditing for fixed assets is an inventory error. Not keeping your inventory up to date. No opinion means that the records are poor and they might not be existing. The audit may delay the audit until records can be constructed. Therefore, you're outside the guidelines. Some districts failed the first interim report, and some have filed negative certifications. This is a serious issue for all school districts. Common problems. Deficit spending is a common problem in school districts, and they're seeing it more and more right now. Salary and benefit negotiations may not have been concluded, and yet they must be in the audit. Declining enrollment will cause a decline in revenue, but the declining enrollment may not happen until mid-year. Special education and other restricted fund encroachments are a problem, and inadequate reserves is most often a problem, and in this year and the next 2 years you'll see more of the inadequate reserves. So there are some recommendations. Usually contains recommendations to improve the ways records are kept. This is very common, and you really should ask the auditors, what can I do to improve the procedures that we're using? They do document a few cases of fraud or embezzlement. There's one down in Newport Mesa that several years ago that the superintendent ended up resigning, but it was the chief business official actually went to prison. Of course, he was living pretty high on the hog, and it was obvious that something was going wrong. So they audited very carefully and found a $4 million, not an error, but embezzlement. Audit committees are very good. These committees enhance fiscal accountability, and the work of these committees or committee can reduce the cost of an annual audit because you'll have everything so well refined that the audit goes quite quickly. What is the purpose of this committee? Well, you spell out the responsibilities. They need to review procedures. They need to spot check bills paid and payroll checks issued. They need to implement audit procedures or recommendations. The objective of an audit is to determine if the statements provided proper accounting for revenues or expenditures, whatever your assets are, and what you owe, your liabilities. The accurate claim rate, the accurate claims to state and federal programs are an object of the audit, and you need reliable data. The state and federal funds spent in accordance with terms and regulations of these programs is actually stated in that audit procedure. The audit provides an independent assessment of the accounting controls of the district. This is really important to you. All financial records, board minutes, bonds, organizational charts, equipment inventory, contracts, personal charges, grant agreements, position control, anything with money attached to it is important to have a procedure. The general fund is, of course, the largest fund that a school district has, but auditors must review other funds as well. The student body funds and the cafeteria funds, any other funds kept by the district must be audited. The actual expenditures and income of the district received and spent are compared against budgeted amounts, and that's really important. Like, what did you budget and what did you actually spend? The audit report notes any significant differences, and the ending balances are extremely important because that's really your beginning balance. So sometimes you may feel you're looking out of an airplane window and seeing something you really don't want to see. Audit procedures are extremely important, so ask the auditors what you can do to improve. Thank you.